appears the team up north doesn't sit well with Buckeye Nation.
Sean, this feels like a game where unstoppable force meets an immovable object. I'm talking about the Notre Dame run game versus Ohio State run defense. Notre Dame is fourth in yards per rush in FBS this season, and Ohio State's defense is second in yards per rush in FBS this season. So I'm curious what gives in this particular matchup.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of the game, particularly with more injuries now on the Notre Dame offensive line. Ohio State's been the best defense in the country, not just in the stat that you mentioned, but in scoring defense, which, as you know, having played with distinction, that's the most important thing, not giving up points. So the Notre Dame, they just find a way to win. I think most people think Ohio State's going to win. The point spread says that. Most of the conversation leading up to this game seems to flow that way. But I think having done all three of the Notre Dame games in this playoff prior to tonight, you bet against Notre Dame at your own peril. They just keep finding a way to win. They rushed for 2.8 yards per rush against Penn State and won the game. Which, if you said going into that, they do that. No, they can't do that. Their team that has to run the ball to win. Well, they didn't run the ball, and they still won. So they find a way. But I do think dealing, particularly with the defensive front of Ohio State, is going to be the biggest concern for Notre Dame tonight. Can they hold up?
Sean, Evan asked you about Brian Day. Let's shift our focus to Marcus Freeman. What he's built at Notre Dame has been remarkable. Give us a scouting report on him. What is it about Marcus Freeman that allowed everybody at Notre Dame to buy in and him to build this program into what it is?
Well, I think there's a lot. People use the expression he's a little package. I think he really is. Talking to Mike Denbrock and Al Golden, which I think are also a big part of Notre Dame's success, the two coordinators who both been around a long time. Al's 55 and Mike Denbrock's 50. They're coaching lifers, and they rave about Marcus. The phrase here all the time is he's a great leader of men, and he is. I just think he handles every aspect of leading a football program, like Notre Dame or any program for that matter, at about the highest level that he possibly could. He's just a very impressive person. He treats everybody well. I asked him one time, about a couple weeks ago, who the biggest influence on you is. He said Jim Tressel. And one of the things he said about Jim Tressel really surprised me, because Jim has a reputation to kind of close to the vest, no pun intended. He always used to wear that vest, but he said he made everybody in the Ohio State football program feel important when he was the head coach. And when you're out with the Notre Dame team, Marcus is the same way. So, and I just think that the football coach part of that, a big part of their success is the aggressiveness, the creativity on special teams. They do all the things that well-coached teams do. They're huge in the turnover margin. I think that'll be, if they're going to win the game tonight, that'll have to be a factor. They're 32 takeaways. So he's impressive by every standard. I've been doing this for a million years. That was the college coaches, and he's about as impressive as anybody I've met with.
We're talking with Sean McDonough, who's going to be on the call tonight here on ESPN Radio of the National Championship game. Notre Dame and Ohio State. Our coverage begins at 3 at 6:30. The game gets going around 7:30. Sean will be doing the game with Fred McElroy. Our buddy Simmons on the sideline, Katie George as well. For positive reasons, I asked this question, Sean. Is there a chance that tonight is the last game at their respective schools for either of these two coaches?
Yes. I think there's a chance. I think there's slim. I don't think Ohio State will move on from Brian Day if they lose, and I don't think he wants to leave. I don't know that for sure. I do think Marcus Freeman is on the radar of NFL teams right now. Clearly is. It sounds like particularly the Chicago Bears. So I get the feeling he's very happy there for now. I've talked to, and understandably so, I've talked to a couple people around the Notre Dame program who think, it wouldn't surprise them if someday he takes a shot at the NFL, but I don't think anybody feels that that's imminent. I do think the larger question of both programs is losing coordinators. I think there's a chance Al Golden goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, but this is over. And there's some rumors bouncing around that Jim Knowles, the defense coordinator for Ohio State, might be coaching his last game there.
Sean, superstar freshman Jeremiah Smith is taking the college football world by storm. 14 touchdowns in his freshman season. And of course, he continues to be the biggest game breaker, the biggest threat that Ohio State has on that offense. How can you contextualize the freshman season that you've seen from Jeremiah Smith and just how good of a talent they think he is at Ohio State?
Yeah, he is. You know, he's enormously talented. We have not done Ohio State our group this year, so I haven't talked to him in person, but I spent some time with Chris Fowler yesterday. I think obviously there's sort of this half of Ohio State games here that he's an impressive young man from everything they've been told and been able to observe. But, you know, he's got all the physical talent, 6'3", 215. You know, a lot of people say, you know, if he was in the draft this year, he might be the top pick in the draft. And when he is in the draft, it's quite possible that he will be the number one pick. That having been said, Texas held him to one catch and 3 yards. You know, they just made an effort to take him away. They did it successfully. I think that's another big part of the game tonight. You know, Texas is a kind of a zone-heavy defense, whereas Notre Dame plays man-to-man more than any team in the country. So if they're going to continue to play man-to-man, you know, how does that go, particularly when it comes to Smith? Because as you guys know, you know, they have other, as Chip Kelly said, they have 3 number 1 wide receivers, really. Emeka Buka and Arnell Tate would be number 1 on just about any other team in the country.
Sean, you mentioned spending time with Chris Fowler. I saw a tweet actually of a photo of the two of you together going over your notes. And as you were doing your prep for this game, making your charts, doing your notes, is there a theme or a matchup that caught your eye that we should all be paying attention to in tonight's game?
Yeah, first of all, it was great to spend time with Chris because obviously we never do the same game except here. When his group does TV and our group does the radio, which we really enjoy doing. It's kind of a, you know, a fun annual tradition for us. But, you know, they've seen Ohio State go in the playoffs. You know, we've had Notre Dame all 3 games, so it just made sense to get together. And, you know, we found a kind of quiet place in here in the hotel. There is no such thing, I guess, when you're in the national championship game. But I think it's a hard question to answer, Sheldon. I can't think there are so many. You know, it's one of the things I love doing the radio, but you know, one of the great things about the TV is you have more time to tell the story because, you know, people can see the pictures, you don't describe everything like you do on the radio. And there's just so many great stories, you know, starting with the quarterback, the 2 guys who were 3-star recruits, non-high recruited, starting in other places, transferred in, you know, several guys, personality types, those guys who are virtually running the football, particularly Riley Leonard. You know, and we've already talked about so many great storylines, so I think there's not enough time to get into all of them. But, you know, I do think that if the Notre Dame do this one more time, right, I don't think people think they're the most talented team in the country, but I think they might be the best team. That's what stood out to me. Even before the playoffs started, I thought they had as good a chance to win the whole thing as anybody because they're great in all 3 phases, or at least really good in all 3 phases. Extremely well coached. They have great culture and chemistry, and you know, they seem like it's a team that has tremendous self-belief, and they kind of get motivated by the fact that some people don't believe them.
Sean, awesome stuff as always. Best of luck tonight. Enjoy it. We'll be listening. We appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Well, keep up the great work. Always fun to watch you guys and listen to you. Appreciate you having me on.
We appreciate it. The great Sean McDonough, just a phenomenal play-by-play. You're not getting a better play-by-play person than that, and he'll be on our air tonight, along with Greg McElroy, Ian Fitzsimmons, Katie George, National Championship, pregame 6:30 Eastern Time. Game starts at 7:30 Eastern Time. If my son's game goes into overtime, I will definitely be listening to Sean at the beginning of this and all throughout the night. Games that are not going to overtime. I'm listening. What would I rather, a loss in regulation to get home in time or a win in overtime? I'm not sure. Nobody from that team is listening or watching. Anyway, if you missed any of our show today, go back on the podcast and listen. Take home the fun.
That'd be a good matchup, though.
Wow. I got Sean on the radio broadcast. Go to the ESPN app wherever you find your podcast. Listen to all 4 hours of the show. Coming up, CC's best bet, most unsportsmanlike moments, which I think I just had of the day.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Everybody would ask me why I came to Notre Dame. The truth is I came here to win a national championship.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Be a Buckeye legend for life.
I just want to win a national championship. The College Football Playoff National Championship, presented by AT&T. Coverage begins today at 6:03 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
At Miami, we want to provide you with peace of mind every mile, especially this time of year. Our certified technicians ensure your car is ready for the road ahead, running smoothly and safely. And the best part, the in-ring e-inspection means an immediate and comprehensive view of your car's safety. We want to make sure your car is ready for whatever fall brings. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Miami.com. Trust your key with Miami. Miami, doing car care right. Fly-in communities are among the most exclusive real estate options in the world. Gaining in popularity, Crown Plantation, just outside of BMW, is not just an aviation community. One of the most amenitized, fastest-selling communities in Texas, surrounded by mature pecan orchards and the winding Brazos River. Residents enjoy exclusive access to a private country club, 18-hole golf course, tennis courts, marina, shopping, and dining. It's the perfect blend of luxury living and aviation. 155 airport lots of Pecan Plantation has been sold today. Prices are up over 35% in just 2 short years. Final 30 sets are available at below market price. So first come, first served. Don't miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime real estate opportunity. New airport lots start at just $200,000. Concrete roads and taxis. Easy financing available with credit for as little as 10% down. Visit taxiwayland.com for details. That's taxiwayland.com. Or call 855-LAND-100. 855-LAND-100.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debts? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DUBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/payoff. Loans originated by SoFi Banking and Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/payoff. NMLS 9891.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. You can choose to get out there. Choose your people. You could choose to go for it. No, really go for it. Just choose to do something that moves you. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. Mazda, move and be moved.
Pat is an independent truck driver, and he owes the IRS a lot of money.
It was terrifying. I was going to have to sell my truck. They were going to take everything from us.
Optima stepped in and got to work on Pat's case.
Optima saved me an unbelievable amount of money. Talk about the relief.
Listen to Pat.
Don't fight the IRS alone. I would recommend Optima. In fact, I already have.
Call now for a free consultation. Call 800-435-8864. 800-435-8864. Optima Pat's relief. Everything that happens on the hardwood is NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the SXM app. Time to win some money. Cashie's best bet. Of the night.
All right, the Ravens let me down over the weekend. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. I had them as my best bet of the weekend. It didn't come through for me. But we're going to get back up on the horse. We got the national championship game tonight, and this doesn't happen often. And sometimes we'll have a guest on the show that can actually change my mind about a bit. And Sean McDonough, who's going to be on the radio broadcast doing the play-by-play for tonight's national championship game, just changed my mind. I was going with Ohio State, laying the 8.5, changing my mind. I'm going Notre Dame plus the 8.5. He said something, and it just stood out. They're not the most talented team, but they are the best team. I say that all the time, because I got it from Parcells and Tom Coughlin. The best players don't always make the best teams, but the best teams always win. Notre Dame coming into the playoffs, according to Sean McDonough, was the best team. And they've displayed that with what they've been able to do in beating all these great opponents. Only one 5-star recruit on Notre Dame's entire roster. I'm going to take the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Give me the 8.5 points. It's $100 to make 90. That is the play of the day.
Survived a terrible, terrible moment. It was a like moment of the day. That was terrible. It was not a great look.
All right, before we get to the unsportsmanlike moments, a couple of quick follow-ups on that. Or one quick one and then another thing. So, it's interesting that you're saying this because I think there's two teams in sports right now that are playing massive games that I would argue are playing with house money, which may not make sense to some, but I don't think, I think Notre Dame's playing with house money tonight a little bit. And the Commanders for sure playing with house money on Sunday. I understand when you get to a conference championship game or a national championship game, anyone who's saying, how can you say a team's playing with house money with this much on the line? My response to that, Smalls, is very simple. If they don't win, all hell does not break loose.
Yeah.
If Ohio State doesn't win, all hell breaks loose. Because Ryan Day is the guy that didn't win the title and doesn't beat Michigan. If Philly loses to
It would
Washington...
almost be better if Ryan Day didn't get to the national championship.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, because now he's got a double whammy against him. If Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame don't win tonight, it's... Wow, what unbelievable. We still made the greatest hire. Please don't go to the NFL. What can we do to help you retool for next year? If Washington doesn't win on Sunday, it's all right. Free agency has started. I know it hasn't really started, but it started. Guys, Jaden, call this guy, call that guy, whatever it may be. Nothing happens. All hell breaks loose. The Eagles lose an individual game at home. That's why I would say those two play. Not just regularly concluded. Understood. The other thing, I just want to say this because I say this every year until it actually happens. I'm going to. I believe on Martin Luther King Day, where the NBA does a phenomenal job of playing day games for kids to watch who are all from school specifically. They should play games or a game one time at least at an HBCU, pick the gym at the historically black colleges and universities, and have one game celebrating MLK Day there. Right? Don't take the Hawks out of Atlanta, I'm not saying that, but take someone or two teams and put them there. Just saying that, so until that happens, I'm going to continue to say that, because I believe that would be a pretty good idea. Anyway, obviously they don't agree with that. All right, let's go. So Andy Reid, with his win on Saturday, got his 300th career win, playoff and regular season combined. Here's what Andy Reid had to say about getting number 300.
I joke the guys that, you can get a couple more, you might be able to equal my weight. So.
A couple more wins, and you might be able to equal my weight.
You love South African king.
He's that.
We play 2 more seasons, maybe?
Equals weight?
Because, I mean, if they do the whole thing this year, we get the 3 kids. So what do we think? 2 more seasons?
Well, I don't know how much he weighs.
Well, let's go to the ballpark.
What do you guess?
No, we know this, but I'm going to say 330.
He's tall, right?
He's not, he's a
tall guy, yeah.
He's not a small man.
Like 6'5", 330, you would think?
That's what I would think.
I mean, the punt pass and kick video from back in the day when he was a kid.
He's 6'3"?
According to the internet.
6'3".
Taller than Justin Hall.
Okay, 6'3".
According to the internet.
So maybe 325, 330.
How many more seasons would you need?
Another step back or follow.
Big question.
This is so unfortunate right now. You guys just out here trying to elbow me with me.
He brought it up. He brought it up. How much did Andy lose weight?
I think they're a little white out. Just 3.
How many more seasons, you know?
If you want to get the all-time lose record, to get his weight.
Yes.
So wrong by you, no. So wrong by
Yes,
you.
get it.
So wrong by you, no. I can't believe you're doing this.
God.
Terrible thing.
Yeah, he tries to shame us. And then he jumps right in.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next one. So we know that Matt Collins, the wide receiver for the Bills, famously walks into games barefoot. He took it to another level yesterday. He went full, Miami Beach outfit. Barefoot bathing suit, open shirt, straw hat, and towel.
But also get the tan lotion on his nose.
Oh, I didn't see it.
On his nose.
How do we feel about this?
I love it.
You do?
Love it.
Not a little too much?
He's embracing the cold. It's like the beach, he's just playing in the sand.
It's too much hang look at me. Like, I just feel like it's too over the top. We understand you don't like to wear shoes. You think that's optional. I think it's disgusting. But hey, to each his own. But the whole
That's really made somebody
So you didn't see my text message, like breakfast or something? Oh. No, I just asked you if you wanted some breakfast. So I'm in Dale City, so I could pretty much go anywhere. Chick-fil-A. You say they have some good breakfast sandwiches or something? Not really. Okay. Alright.
Are not required anywhere.
I couldn't hear it.
Somebody pulled. You voluntarily yourself as a pull.
Well, I didn't really. I just had this intuition, this feeling inside me that I need to go to New York. I couldn't explain it. Everybody's like, really? I'm like, I'm just telling you.
That's where it belongs.
This is the calling that I have, and I moved here with no full-time job, no apartment, no plan. And luckily for me, it worked out.
But if you
Well, the same spirit that gave you that calling, could you ask them to dial it some more well, please?
Yes, I will.
That same spirit that gave you that calling, just tell them that you want to lose more well.
I'll make a call.
Speaking of that, by the way, I forgot Ryan just had shirtless in the field.
That was great.
Yesterday.
It was awesome. Loved every minute of it. Every second of it.
Enjoy the national championship.
05-15. Let's go.
Greeny up next. We are on a Tuesday. We're on Sportsmanlike.
Adam Shepard here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Honestly, these rewards are a game changer coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection. Why get tickets anywhere else? Look out the goal this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. Now, the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water, but you are getting it anyway. Because if you're an active volcano and you accidentally drop the ball and fizzles the lava, your water will still be nice. Switch to Progressive and you could save big. For water bottles, Progressive United Nature's coating affiliates of all states with entry into trade.
And the time it takes you to actually board that flight to Group 8.
Now, pretty severe altitude in the sun.
You can watch one day. Yes, that is where you buy everything else. So while you're looking to make up new boarding groups, you can order your dream car and the dealer will have it ready in no time. The hope is so close. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Limited availability. Pickup. Hyundai US.
We all hear the radio ads from the IRS. They tell you it's afraid and try to frighten you to come. I'm not going to do that. Tax relief advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car at work or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-9350. Don't be told. TRA will eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs and now develop the easiest use of fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,500 reviews on Google and a deep market for better business now. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmares today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-9360. That's 800-518-9360. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. Today, it's all about controlling costs. As your business grows, you need technology that scales and doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. To manage expenses, growing businesses are moving to a company they can trust. Acumatica. Acumatica is the world's fastest growing cloud business solution, delivering unparalleled functionality with the highest satisfaction scores in the industry. And businesses trust Acumatica. You shouldn't have to worry about dramatic and unexpected price increases. Acumatica is committed to transparent and fair pricing without locking you into long-term commitments. We're also the only ERP vendor to offer unlimited user licensing, so you don't get charged more for your growth and adding employees. Graduate from your basic software and take your business to the next level. Over 10,000 companies have already made the move and have graduated to Acumatica. Achieve your growth ambitions and save money today by going to
SiriusXM app.
I'm Christine Lisi. The countdown continues toward the college football playoff national championship game. Ohio State and Notre Dame, 6:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN. Buckeyes seeking their 6th title and first in a decade. Fighting Irish looking to win their 12th title and first since 1988. OSU, 8.5-point favorite tonight for ESPN Bet. The Ravens refusing to blame tight end Mark Andrews dropped pass on a late 2-point conversion attempt for the team's 2-point loss to the Bills in last night's AFC divisional playoff game. Quarterback Lamar Jackson directed his anger at Baltimore's 3 turnovers, which did include 2 by Jackson himself. His 4th career postseason game in which he's thrown an interception and lost a fumble. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford says he'll take some time before deciding on his NFL future. The soon-to-be 37-year-old has 2 years remaining on his contract.
From the ESPN studios at Pier 17 in the Seaport District of New York City, this is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. You can also listen and watch the show on the ESPN app.
All right, here we go. Back and better than ever, coming off of what was an extraordinary weekend. So many interesting storylines, so many interesting games, so many reasons why the losers lost. We've got 2 hours left. Do it. Here we go.
Only one place to start.
Celebrate, Bills Mafia! The Bills have won 27-25. Kansas City, here we come!
That's what we've worked for, is an opportunity to play another week. You know, we don't want our season to end on a loss.
That was the very rare finale of a foursome of games in which the team that had more yardage lost all 4 this weekend. And when that happens, I love it, because it means the winning teams needed help in order to win, and indeed they got it in all 4 cases. We will, by the time we finish our 2 hours today, have assigned all the right blame to all the right places. Hembo is here. Do we have Bubba and Cam this morning? Do we have the full hashtag crew together? Oh, yeah. Together. All right, fellas, we are ready to go. Obviously, the Philly guys are happy today, but they believe that's what you should be. But let's start with last night. And I'm just going to say it directly after a morning spent talking about it for 2 hours on television. In my opinion, while I understand that quarterbacks like starting pitchers tend to have a 1-loss record, and that is probably generally unfair, meaning it's probably wrong. They get too much credit when they win and too much credit when they lose. I fully understand that this is going to go on Lamar Jackson's permanent record. This loss, when we someday describe, when people like Hembo are putting together stats, and they describe what was Lamar Jackson's career record in the playoffs, this will go as a loss. But in my opinion, to put yesterday's loss on Lamar Jackson is to have not watched the game that was played. I'm floored at the amount of blame people are placing on him for what were 2 bad first-half turnovers. They were, there's no question. The interception was bad. It didn't wind up costing the points. The fumble was a disaster because it does wind up costing them a touchdown. But he more than overcame them. The object is not to make 0 losing plays. It's to make more winning plays than you do losing plays. And he did. And unless you wanted him to walk over and hand the ball to Mark Andrews on the 2-point conversion, he brought his team all the way back to a tie in the final minute and a half, and we'll never know what would have happened if he catches that ball. So to me, Hembo, to blame that loss on Lamar Jackson is to completely miss the forest for the tree.
Retweet. Lamar Jackson outplayed Josh Allen, especially in the second half of that game. But as we well know, it is a team game. His teammates let him down, and Lamar Jackson made 1 too-many mistakes. A mistake that happened in the first half, that fumble at midfield, that DeMar Hamlin knocked out of his hands, that Von Miller returned, which of course produced a point for the Bills, ultimately was the difference maker. But a game of that magnitude, between teams that good, there are many factors that contribute to who wins and who loses. And I will stand by Lamar Jackson that he played great in that game. And so if you want to loop in this loss with his previous 4 in the playoffs, I agree with you. You are missing the forest for the tree.
I have a variety of questions for you. Let's start with this one. And I know that in the moment I was thinking it was an obvious decision. In retrospect, it wasn't. What do the analytics say about John Harbaugh going for the 2 late in the 3rd quarter to try and tie the game? So, look, I was about to say if you didn't watch the game. If you didn't watch the game, why are you listening to the show today? I assume you know what I'm talking about, but it's 21-13 Bills. Late third quarter. Baltimore scores a touchdown, now it's 21-19. You check the extra point, you're still down 1. You go for the 2, or the tie, they go for the 2, they don't get it. As it turns out, that point winds up being very significant late. What do the analytics say about the decision that was made?
The analytics say that fortune favors the bold, and thus going for 2 was the right decision. You're in a much better position, of course. If you tie it, you have nearly 50% chance to do it, and I bet internally, the Ravens analysts say that we have a better than 50% chance to be a Hall of Fame quarterback and can give us 2 yards whenever we want. Sometimes you drop the right play and a bad thing happens. That's what happened to the Ravens in that particular situation.
Yeah, if the ball gets batted down by the outstanding linebacker Matt Milano, and they wind up chasing their point the rest of the night. While they wind up losing by 2, they really lose by 1, because if they have that point and they kick the extra point after the touchdown yesterday, and we see what happens. Although I guess we don't know that they wouldn't have gone for the 2 in that scenario. Well, let's not sidetrack.